I felt that being at the top was a little bit pretentious. I felt always uncomfortable talking about it. We really just wanted to discuss business, the strategies, the tactics, the things that people really need to earn. So we decided, let's do a rebrand and let's change it to Weekly Business Talk. And that's what we've done. This is not a podcast to just get you motivated and inspired. This podcast comes with the sole purpose to discuss strategies that we can all implement into our business right now that can increase how much money we earn. We'll hear from successful business people about marketing, sales, recruitment, training and mindset, the key principles to grow a business, make it recession proof and thrive in today's business world. Thanks once again for joining us. The very first episode of Weekly Business Talk. And, well, we've done a rebrand, not only in terms of the logo and the general design, which is obviously only forms part of what branding actually is, but in terms of the concept. The whole purpose of being at the top was literally to speak to these so-called experts. And by the way, some of them are experts within their relative or respective field. But I also feel slightly like I was doing a disservice to your regular business owner. I mean, there's a lot of business owners out there running incredible small businesses, maybe not on the mainstream media or haven't quite hit the heights or the publicity that they're going to get to, but they have incredible knowledge in business. And I wanted to create the podcast so that we can actually sit with those folk as well. The business owners are, typical people that are listening to this, that, yous out there listening, have some great valuable knowledge. And we wanted to do it in such a way that we could speak to your everyday business owner, talk about your everyday business needs, not just the stories of the super successful, which are always great, but speak to your everyday business owners and discuss the strategies, the tactics, the things that we are doing right now that are working. And I'm talking about things such as mindset. One of the minefields right now is digital media, social media. Should we do it? Should we not? I want to speak to people in the industry right now, local people, that can tell us what we should and shouldn't do. So your everyday business requirements and needs, we want to discuss it, so we rebranded it to Weekly Business Talk. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring talk, chat, information, guidance, inspiration, motivation, you name it. We're going to just bring it all to you every single week, and we're going to talk about business, what's working, what's not, and sometimes we're just going to talk about things to get you thinking. I think there's too many podcasts out there that are sitting down talking about the celebrities who are in business right now. How did Mark Zuckerberg start Facebook, and interviewing them? People like Elon Musk, and it's great. I love these. They're very entertaining. But I wanted to get real down to the roots of things and discuss what we can actually implement into our business to improve things. So every week we're going to come to you, so please reach out to us and give us some of your suggestions. One that we're really looking forward to is we're going to get Fred, one of our producers, just to talk and bring up subjects and questions from people that are listening, and we're going to discuss them live, and Fred's just going to put them to me. So I dare say there'll be some great value in there for people listening, just to get our thoughts on things. One, I said at the start there, one of the fundamental things of being at the top, which I didn't like, I have always been a believer. And we done an interview last season with Phil Jones, and he posed a question to him, and he says, when you ask people there, Scott, what they would rather do, if they were up doing a presentation, for example, I think we were talking about doing a keynote, and he said, if you say to people, what do you hope to do with this keynote? Do you hope to, or if you were to ask a group of people what they hope and what they would pick, would they say, I want to do my best? Would they say, I want to do better? Or would they say, I want to do good, or something like that, they said. And I feel that everybody, even on your children, we always teach people to do your best, which, when you think about it, rightly or wrongly, suggests that your best is, like, there is an end to it, there's a top ceiling to it. And actually what we always want to be thinking about, particularly as business owners, is how do we do better? And always sort of striving to do better. And so bringing that into this podcast, in this now season, how could we adopt, and internally I've adopted that attitude now and that sort of motto of always do better, or how can we always get better? And how could we then have a podcast called Being at the Top, which again symbolises that someone at the top, they can't go any further, they are standing at the top of the mountain effectively. What we are now talking about is how do we as business owners, regardless of where they are, just get better and better and better, because I do believe that there is no sort of end to improvement, particularly in the business world. You know, you've got companies like Apple that started from nothing a few decades ago, which in business terms is not that long really. I mean, it's not hundreds of years old like some businesses, but that now have, you know, a couple of $100 billion in the bank. How do they go through that? How can we help business owners go from where they are now and always get better to what suits them, to their goal? Some people might not want to turn their company public, but how do we always get improving it? And so that was the reason why we changed it. We're going to speak to your average business owners, industry experts. We will have special guests on that who have created incredible wealth, financial wealth and other types of wealth within their life. But we're going to have a much more varied approach to things about how we can improve. And so that was the reason for calling it Weekly Business Talk. And it doesn't go against a fundamental value of mine, which is there is no top. There is always just constant improvement. We done a video a long time ago called Kinai or Kaizen, and it's about that Japanese term about always getting better, or consistent or continuous improvement. So here we are with Weekly Business Talk. We're going to deliver a ton of information. We're not just going to discuss the strategies that business owners have actually done, but the tactical things. So as a business owner, quite often we find ourselves completely caught up in the day-to-day running of our business. And I've been guilty of it myself, and I am still guilty of it at times. But we're so caught up in the day-to-day, the tactical stuff of doing the day-to-day business sort of requirements. We neglect at times, or we don't put enough time into thinking about the more strategical approaches. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss that, and I'm actually going to make reference to my businesses I'm involved in. So this is not just hypothetical and in sort of an ideal world these things can work. And these are things that I've either trying, or going to implement into our business. And you can actually, instead of just speaking to the huge podcast who are fantastic presenters but never actually ran a business, you're going to hear it from somebody that's actually trying all these different tactics and putting in place these strategies into my business. And we're going to share how good they are or how not so good they are. So I hope you continue to listen and join us. If there's any questions that you want to ask, reach out to us. Check us out on social media, which will be I am Scott Ewart on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So I am Scott Ewart. Reach out to us because we want to hear from you. I am Scott Ewart. This is Weekly Business Talk, and we look forward to seeing you and speaking to you on next week's episode.